Coming at you live from Studio K. You are now listening to Rambling with Ryan.
Okay, welcome to the podcast, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Today, my guest, Craig Maclean, got a MMA fight coming up with Battlefield Fight League, so we're going to talk some MMA and see what else we get into.
Cool, man.
Thanks for coming out.
Good to be here.
So I actually just seen on Facebook, so you just at the Wellness Center, which is one of your sponsors, right?
Yeah,
Here
exactly.
in Aldergrove?
Yeah. Aldergrove Wellness Center. So I go to Dr. Fred out there. So popped in there probably a year and a half ago or so, and then, we just talked about, kind of what I'm doing and stuff, and, he's kind of sponsored me ever since, so they've been really good to me.
Yeah?
Yeah, so just got to go in there, tune-ups here and there.
What kind of treatments do you get regularly?
Just chiro, massage, I got a physio guy, too, who's also very good, who I, kind of pop into when I need, any work done, things like that, but, just for regular maintenance, chiro, massage, it's all good stuff.
Yeah, are you pretty regular, like once a week, or just when your body feels like it needs?
Yeah, like when I got a fight coming up, then I try to get in there somewhat regularly, maybe once or twice, or once a week, or once every 2 weeks, just because otherwise, I start feeling good, I'm like, I don't need it, and then all of a sudden you're broken down because you haven't been taking care of yourself, right? So yeah, so now I'm trying to make it like book an appointment ahead of time and get in there, So,
that's the thing. It always, like with physio and that, I was always injured.
Yeah.
And the hard part is when you get injured, now you got to book an appointment. You want to get in that day or the next day.
Exactly.
2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we got an appointment in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We can fit you in.
Exactly.
Because if they're good, they're going to be booked up solid, right?
Exactly.
So.
That's how I stumbled on my last physio guy, is because I called my regular guy and they're like 2 weeks. And I was like, I can't wait 2 weeks. He was super good and all that. And it wasn't his fault because it was Twin Rings Physio, right? But he was super good.
Twin Rings, okay.
They're just, jam-packed, right?
Yeah.
So then I knew someone else who was just opening up. And he's awesome,
Where is this one?
I go to Murray Schneider.
Okay, I know.
Yeah.
I think we might have talked about that.
Yeah,
I
probably.
used to see Murray.
Yeah.
He's out of Abbotsford, but he moved, right?
Yeah.
He's somewhere else now.
Yeah. So he's out right by Walmart and 64th and Langley.
Okay.
And he actually used to be with Twin Rings years ago.
Yeah.
And I'd seen him there like a long time ago, and like he's helped me out big time.
Well, he was with Sport and Spine, I believe, out in Abbotsford.
Maybe, that's what he said. Yeah, he said he was there, I think, after Twin Rings.
Okay, and then moved out there.
Exactly, yeah. So he's been, it's funny because he's been really good to me. Like, he's helped me out big time, kind of gave me deals and stuff. Like, he's like super helpful guy, right? And even my last fight too, he's like, hey, just come in, and he stayed later, just so that he's like, we'll do a big stretch out, like a couple days before your fight. We'll just like do a long stretch, make sure your body's feeling good. So I went in there, and he was awesome, right? And then he was kind of looking forward to the fight because he used to watch fights and things like that, and he tells me, he's like, I can't go. He's like, I can't do it. I was like, what do you mean? He's like I just, if I can't see someone getting hit anymore. He's like, the fact that I know you and things like that. I was like, so is it like because you can't watch me get hit because I'm a client, or in a wellness environment, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, yeah, he thinks it's that, but he's like, even like hockey fights now, tend to kind of like, I don't know, have a bit of an effect, right? So
I've actually noticed that too, even with myself. Like
Really?
I'm not a proponent of taking fighting out of hockey. I think it has its place.
Yeah.
But still, when you see guys fall every time they get hit and they cringe because that head.
Oh yeah.
Man, it's brutal.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to just that could be it.
Yeah.
That literally could be a guy's career.
Yeah, exactly.
But I do think it has its place in hockey. And
for sure, and I definitely think it does.
They've done a good job minimalizing it. I think they've implemented the penalties, and that's why I do think they need to get rid of that instigator rule, though, because you see it with guys like Crosby, and the stars are getting. Yeah, guys are coming after them.
Exactly.
You can't have your stars getting hurt.
Exactly. Yeah,
So
and then you got to get the guys jumping, protect
right?
them, and then No, I hear you.
How does that work with like your family and friends? Do you have any that don't come to fights because they just can't watch?
You know what? Not really. Actually, the only person was my dad. He actually lives overseas though, so it's not like he's around to watch it and things like that. But he he just kept asking me, like, why do you do this? Like, I don't see the point in it. Like,
Yeah.
it perplexes a lot of people, right? And
definitely.
Yeah, and actually, one of CEO of our company who I work with, he's an older guy, and he doesn't get it. Every time he says, he's like, just don't get hurt. Please don't get hurt. Please don't. He's like, if something happens to you, because I'm like the IT guy for the company, right?
Yeah.
And so he's like, please just, be careful, right? Just be careful. So it's pretty funny, but I'm gonna do it regardless, and that's just the fact.
What do you think? What goes through your head when people say stuff like that? Like when they because I'm sure some people have convincing arguments or have points they make, like where it could be like, well, why? But what for you makes you continue, like, no, this is something I want to do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the bottom line. It's like, I'm gonna do it regardless. Either support it or don't, right? I remember my sister kind of, she's really intellectual, right? And she's very much proponent of going to school and following a good career. And she's like, Craig, you're a smart guy. You're intelligent. You don't need to be doing this. And like, yeah, I don't need to be, but it's something I love and something I want to pursue.
Do you think it's the challenge? Do you think it's just that you're going into a situation that is going to put you basically mentally and physically through the hardest kind of struggle you could pretty much go through?
I would think so. Yeah, I mean, I like the challenge. I like, as an example, this upcoming fight, right? Like, I know the guy, what he likes to do and how he fights, and and it's almost like, it's like I've been given this problem, right?
Yeah.
And it's like I got 8 weeks to come up with a plan.
Yeah.
And train around that to beat this guy because he possesses these tools. These tools, right? That I got to negate, and I got to go in there and take it to him.
That's
and it's a challenge.
Rogan
right?
explains it, right?
Yeah,
high level problem solving.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
In the
there
most
you go.
Dire situations.
Yeah, and it's not just high level problem solving and like. I mean, it's the most pure environment. It's like you're going hand-to-hand combat with someone, right?
Who has the best
Yeah,
tools?
exactly. And I don't necessarily look at it like, hey, we're going to go in there and brawl. It's like a sport, but it's cool. Like, you have to go in there.
Like almost like chess.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly, yeah.
How am I going to counter his move?
Yeah, exactly.
Each time.
Yeah, so that's, so like as far as coming back to your question about like family, I mean, I remember my dad said it, and I know he said it a couple of times, and I remember saying, it's like, well, you're either going to support it or you're not going to. It's like, so now he asked me about it, like, how you doing, things like that. But, beyond that, I think everyone's been great. A lot of people support it and things like that. They may not get it or understand why I did it. It's funny, the last fight I had, my girlfriend's grandmother came out. And also,
like to the fight.
Yeah, she came to the fight live, and also a lady who we live in a basement suite, so she lives above us, and her husband came out, and like she couldn't during the fight, she just kept turning away and she couldn't watch. And it's like, I can't do this. And my girlfriend's grandmother, she like walked out, and then she came back in, but then she was just like couldn't watch, right?
Yeah.
And it was interesting though because. So it's my girlfriend's daughter, Eva, right? It's my stepdaughter, right? She's 8, but she's she's a strong girl. Like, she's big for her age. She's strong. She's like a tomboy, right? But she's into sports, into tough, like the furthest thing from a girly girl you could imagine, right? And so this fight was at a reserve in Chilliwack.
Okay.
Right, so normally there's the casinos, so this one she could actually come to.
Okay.
And I was like, you could come, I think, right? Because I've seen kids there and stuff. I was like, you're 8, and like you understand. Like, she knows I go to the gym every day, and she understands what I do, and she does jiu-jitsu herself now.
Oh, really?
Right.
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
So I brought her out, and I guess she hated it.
Really?
Yeah, she hated it. Like,
had she watched UFC or anything?
Yeah,
like
she's
that
seen
before?
it on TV. She's played the UFC video game, everything, right? She's seen my fights on TV, but being there, I think, and seeing me in there, she just was not
Couldn't
on board.
handle it.
Couldn't handle it. Was not on board with. So I saw her after, and she was a bit upset and stuff. But yeah,
what did she say? Like, what was?
She just did not like it. She wouldn't really say much.
Okay.
I think she just kind of had tears, and she didn't really want to look. She wasn't like over the top, I heard, but she was just like was almost uncomfortable, I think. So.
Huh.
So it's funny how they react, right?
Your fights are on TV.
So they'll do like a live stream,
Okay.
and now Battlefield they'll do it on the Fight Network. So it'll either be like a tape delay, or I'm not sure if they've done it live yet on the Fight Network. So that's kind of broadcast across Canada.
What's
like
do you know the website, just so I can?
I think it's Battlefield or the Fight Network.
Wherever it streams.
Oh, I think it'd be right on Battlefield Fight League. I don't know. You got to search it. I think.
Okay.
I think it's Battlefield Fight.com.
just so I can put that
Yeah.
in the write-up, right?
Okay,
So people
cool.
can. Who are you fighting coming up?
I'm fighting this guy. His name's Radley De Silva, and he's a younger guy, but he's tall. He's rangy. He's like, I think he's like 6 feet tall, and he's which I'm used to taller guys. I'm always gonna be the shorter guy in a fight, right? I prefer it actually, because I'm.
You're 5'7"?
5'8".
5'8".
Yeah. So I mean, like
for 135, I think that was a pretty standard.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but anyone I end up fighting is
They're
they always just end up being taller, and I always hear that. And but most of my training partners are taller, and I like fighting taller guys. So
Yeah.
I'm used to it, right? But he's, I've heard the one thing I've heard about him, he's like very talented. Very good kickboxing. He's like capoeira style, so kind of wild and jumping stuff. And you got to be aware of things like that, right? He likes elbows and
he'll throw, unexpected.
Yeah, exactly. Unorthodox things, right? So you got to be just aware, right? Like of everything, right?
Right.
And but one thing I've heard about him from numerous people, he tends to break, like mentally, right?
He's how old?
I think he's like 22.
Okay,
yeah,
so that probably plays into that.
Yeah,
experience.
Yeah, I think he's been doing training all his life, capoeira and martial arts all his life, so he'll be talented, right? And I think it's just, I think when the going gets tough, I think that's kind of when he starts to fade, and I won't fade, so I'll just keep.
I remember you were talking about the fight. You almost had your arm broken.
Yeah, exactly.
When you came on.
Yeah, and it was just I'll just keep coming, right? So
yeah.
I mean, it's I expect tough fight. I've trained hard, I know he's good, so it's going
and
there.
What's the date? The fight coming up?
June 18th. Yeah. Yeah, so that'll be at the Hard Rock Casino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, so it'll be a good time. Yeah.
I'll be there. Because I came to your last amateur fight, I believe. And
yeah, I think so.
To the last one,
yeah,
you got caught early.
Yeah, exactly.
You seemed fine.
Yeah.
But you were saying in amateur fights, they usually they'll stop it a lot sooner than
exactly.
Than
it was a disappointing one, but it's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Do you find that's your how to word this, but you're noticing in the UFC a lot. The sport's changing so fast. And I'm just curious what you're seeing from actually inside the ring as the biggest changes. And I guess that kind of comes back to this unorthodox, because that's kind of what you're seeing a lot in the UFC now. These guys who are just throwing things out of nowhere. Yeah,
exactly. Just new styles, people incorporating. You got that Stephen Thompson, in the welterweight, right? And he's like all of a sudden like this unbelievable striker, and he's a karate background, right?
Yeah.
And
he just put it together finally.
Exactly, right? But a lot of people are saying, "Oh, he's a karate guy." It's like, no, he does everything, right?
Yeah.
So he's good everywhere. But if he adds those tools, and he's a high-level karate guy, and I think
Barbosa, same thing, right?
Exactly.
That guy just throwing kicks out of.
That guy is the best kickboxer in mixed martial arts by far. Yeah. Like the way he throws, like he's so unbelievable.
Fast, so smooth.
Yeah, exactly. He's like a pleasure to watch. It's just like if he gets caught, it's almost like he can put guys out, but if he gets caught too, right? That's just kind of seems to be his downfall. But
well, when you're that wild, that's the downfall, right? Is you take yourself out of position more often.
Yeah, I would say so, right? If you're a little bit like wild, right?
Is this the 6 foot? Is this the one you were talking about on the last time? You said that there's even a guy you were saying, there's a guy 6 feet cutting down to 145. I mean, I wonder if it's the same guy.
I don't think. I don't know if it was. I remember once I was fighting at 145. It was just when I first started fighting amateur, and I was scheduled to fight against one guy, and then my coach told me he's like, yeah, he got me the fight. This guy, I don't really know anything about him though. I'm like, all right, well, we both like had one or no fights. Right. Look him up, and he's like 6'2". I'm like, sweet, or 6'2". Yeah, 145. Wow. But he was a rake, right? But it was like 6'2", dude. Like,
just super scary.
Yeah, I cling to 5'8". I'm just under, but I say I'm 5'8". So it's funny how that is, right?
So in this fight, so what have you kind of have you changed your training at all when you get into training camp for this fight?
No, I don't really focus too much on changing that much what I do. Like I've got a few training partners who I might stick a little bit more with, do more of my rounds because their body styles are similar.
Right.
They might throw, a little bit more kicks and unorthodox, stuff at me. And being aware of certain things, but I don't think, in the past I fought guys who were just like, I thought they were more a little bit more one-dimensional wrestlers. So I
Right.
focused a little bit more wrestling takedown defense, and obviously didn't do as much offense. I think he's well-rounded. He's good everywhere. And having a guy who's unorthodox, it's hard to get someone to mimic that, obviously,
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say. So, do you bring anybody in, especially for
I didn't. I've been working with a new kickboxing coach. His name's Jay Johnsey, and he's the brother of Josh Johnsey, who's kickboxing coach at our gym, but their family is from World Kickboxing in Surrey, and Josh is, probably top 5 in the world in his weight class.
Oh, wow.
And he's 22, 23, and he's unbelievable, right? So, I mean, I've been sparring with him lately, and just, he can throw anything at you, right? And wild things, and he's one of the best kickboxers, out there. He's unbelievable, right? So I've been working with his brother, who's also coaches him, and I used to train with Josh and do pads with him, but he's really focused on his own fights right now.
Yeah.
So I started training with his brother, and, and they can throw kind of wild things, and so, they're good coaches. I just listen to them, whatever we got to do, right? Yeah.
So he's top 5 in the world in kickboxing.
Yeah, so he fights in Glory.
Okay.
Yeah.
He does. He fights.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. And he actually took on, Petrosian, who is, considered one of the best fighters of all time. And it was like his return, and Josh was kind of pretty much, we'll call him the sacrificial lamb for his return, and be like, okay, here's a test, but, not at his level or
Right.
what most people thought. And he went out there and won a decision with him and didn't look out of place, and that's the biggest thing, right? He went in there and he went toe-to-toe with him and cracked him, and it's like, man, he's not far off, the top of the game, right?
Yeah.
And, it's just cool to see, right? Like that evolution, right?
Chilling fights in Glory, right?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't seen, I don't watch kickboxing or follow it much.
I just hear from Rogan's podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Like what I say,
raves
Petrosian
about
too, more people tell me how good he was, right? So I never really watched many of his fights before. I watched his fight with Josh, obviously, and you can tell, how smooth he is, that, he's a veteran, right? And so it's, it's great.
Does he have any aspirations to go into MMA, or does he want to kind of conquer?
No, I don't think so. I think they're just focused on kickboxing. I think that's kind of their thing, right? It's a shame that for some reason kickboxing out in North America is not. It's like dying, or it's dead.
I wonder if it'll start to grow now, though, because Glory got picked up by Fight Pass.
Yeah.
So that could help.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. Jeremy Kennedy. He's like 8-0 right now. Was
he the champ? Was he an amateur champ, or
he was the amateur, but he's the 140, the featherweight champ at Battlefield. Yeah, and
right.
should be getting picked up maybe by the UFC soon.
Wow,
I think
good for him.
I think he's best featherweight in Canada. And I got, Gary Manga, who I train with as well, Bantamweight, super good. Jamie Siraj, Christian Tremaine, all these guys, super
everybody
good crew.
Got the same goals, everybody's wanting to make the UFC, or is everybody more just kind of wanting to better themselves and see where it goes?
No, I think all the guys that I just mentioned there, we're all on the same path. And that's cool, because but guys who have been doing it for a long time. One of the biggest things I've always said about what I'm doing is it's almost like I've stuck it out so long. It's almost the guys who stay till the end.
Yeah.
And it's not drifting on what you're doing, right? So I've trained with so many guys over the years, from my very first fight, years ago, guys who I do the full camp with, and they were in the gym for years, and they were dedicated, I want to do this, and I want to make the UFC and things like that. And, they don't even train anymore, right? But, I mean, life took them in different paths.
Right.
We had one guy who's, he was, he did well as an amateur, but, he was really I'm going to be UFC champion, and, and then he went and got a really good job. Married, he's got a nice house right now, you probably picked a better path than being a pro fighter, I'll tell you that. So, you can't...
Priorities change,
exactly, right?
You kind of have to, I've never really been... That's one of my downfalls. I'm pretty, self-analytical.
Yeah.
One of my biggest downfalls, I don't really set goals.
Okay,
I mean, it's not... possibly fear of failure, I think, is I don't know where it stems from, but it could be something along those lines.
Yeah.
But I just roll with what kind of comes. If I want to do something, I do it. If I don't want to,
do you get pretty passionate about things? Do you have something where you're I'm so about that, or is it kind of for a bit and then you change kind of what you're into?
That's more what it is for me. Is I go in waves, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I want to play tennis every day.
Yeah.
Every day I want to be out practicing or playing or whatever it may be. or like right now, my focus is training to get back full strength and even better for hockey next season.
Exactly. Yeah.
So got a trainer, and it's amazing the difference that makes.
Oh,
just having someone there.
Biggest thing. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And for me, I found the biggest thing in that situation was I don't know how to put a program together that's going to maximize, your output.
Yeah, exactly.
Maximize your gains.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and I've just I noticed it right off the bat.
And if it's like kind of like even sports specific for what you're wanting to do, right?
Right now, it's more just I want to get stronger.
Okay, yeah.
But probably halfway through summer, I'll start doing a lot more stuff. Is like foot speed and quickness and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm just playing men's league hockey.
Yeah, exactly.
I have so many, and this has been a thing with me and my friends. Is like, most people, it's just men's league hockey. We go out, we have some beers, we have a good time. Yeah, I agree. I want to have a good time with my buddies.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I always, whether I'm setting goals or not, I always want to feel like I'm getting better at something.
Yeah.
I'm 32. I'm not going to just stop trying to get better at stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying people have different priorities, family, stuff like that takes their time. But when you do something, do it to the best of your abilities.
Yeah, exactly. Don't go out there half-ass it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why when we started this podcast, we didn't just start it on a cell phone.
Yeah, exactly.
We bought mics. We bought it on
exactly. Yeah.
We
exactly.
tried
You do it right.
to start it right. We had to learn as we went.
Yeah.
And still technical difficulties as it just cut off.
But,
I just feel like that mentality of, it's. You're 30 now. There's no point. It's men's league. No.
Yeah, exactly.
I still want to get better at everything I do.
Exactly. Yeah. And I always think about like when I'm done fighting, it's like I'll always have something that I want to strive towards, like athletically. Whether it be like I hate running. I absolutely hate running, and I'm terrible at swimming, but I think it would be really cool to do a triathlon, or like a half iron, or something like an Olympic one. Like, I'm not saying I can do an Ironman or anything like that, but I think it'd be cool to train towards something like that. You got a goal in mind, like an end point, because I just, if I don't have a fight coming up, or if I'll go to the gym. I love training because I enjoy that, and I know I'm getting better. But if I were to just go to the gym 5 days a week and lift weights, it's just like, God damn. Like, I can't push myself.
Exactly. You need something that you're doing it for.
Exactly, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah, I just don't get that mentality, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Oh, weird.
Just keep pressing on.
Yeah. Well, we just ended up doing like a fitness assessment, right? So with all those guys kind of who I mentioned is so we got my head MMA coach Tyler Jackson, right? He's unbelievable strength and conditioning coach too, right? So instead of like just taking us to a conditioning workout, he just did an assessment. So where we're at on agility, strength, conditioning, right? So it was we started off with high jumps and or your vertical leap essentially, right? Then some agility testing, then squats, bench press, pull-ups, sit-ups, everything, right? So you just kind of see where you're at, and then he'll tailor that program based on where we are. Maybe if I got a fight coming up in a few weeks, so it'll probably give me just a short program, something specific within these few weeks. But beyond that, maybe some of the guys needed to get stronger. Maybe some of the guys needed that their conditioning better, whatever it is. Yeah, their core stronger, anything like that, right? So then we're working towards something there as well, because that's a big part of it too, right?
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what the first day we did. He did like a body movement thing.
Yeah.
Checked where I needed, and it's most of the stuff I already knew where I needed help.
Yep.
But it's just some of the things he had. I can't do that. Like, I always thought I had a pretty good core, and then he has me do this one thing, and I just can't do it.
Yeah.
So that's where I've actually set goals. I want to be able to do that.
Exactly.
So there's that, and then I want to be able to squat my body weight. I want to be able to deadlift. I think usually deadlift like about 25% more than your body weight.
Okay.
Because you can deadlift.
I can remember that.
Me. But so those are goals that I'm working towards now. So I'm kind of starting that.
Yeah.
But
that's cool.
It's definitely interesting to see. I like seeing now where I need to improve. So that's that's why I kind of had to go this route, is because I don't know. I don't know what I need to do to fix the problems either, right? And it's amazing how 2 exercises in, I'm like, you fucking bastard.
Yeah, but it's probably too the fact that he's given you a program, and I don't know about you, but like for me, if I go to the gym, if if I just go, let's say I just want to go lift weights or I want to go do that. It's like go lift weights and like do a chest workout. But I almost feel when I leave, it's like if I didn't have a program like that someone gave me, like this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
I almost feel like it was almost a waste of a workout, which is rubbish to think. But I feel like if I'm not on a program, then I'm almost not kind of progressing, going upwards, right?
Yeah.
So,
for me, it's more the inefficiency.
Okay.
So I'll go to the gym and I'll be like, okay, well, because I like to do, I don't go and I work my arms and then I work my chest and I go, no, I want to do a full body workout, hit a bunch of different muscle groups.
Yeah.
And feel tired and leave.
Exactly.
But I find I go in and then I'm in my head, I'm like, okay, well, I just did this exercise. But okay, I shouldn't do that because that's working the same. Yeah. I end up wasting so much time trying to figure out. Exactly. Because I like to change it up. I don't like to do the same thing all the time. So that was the biggest difference I found is in an hour, I'm doing like 7 or 8 exercises instead of 4.
Okay.
Right? Because I'm not standing there like thinking, okay, well, what should I do next?
Exactly, yeah.
But it's expensive, but it's well worth it, I think.
Oh, yeah, it's huge, right? And it's that accountability factor, right? When you go in and if you look like shit and you're, not progressing and getting those gains wherever you are.
Exactly.
It reflects badly on you, right? And you want to do it well for yourself and your trainer, right?
Right. And as soon as he showed up, he's looking at me. I could tell. Why do you need a trainer? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've been working out I'm in shape.
Yeah.
But I know there's areas that I need a lot of improvement.
Yeah.
And he's like, most of my clients aren't like this. Like most of my clients can't do.
But it's probably a treat, right?
Exactly. That's what he said. Because he can really try and push you, and so he's got to come up with things to actually make it more difficult.
Exactly. Yeah. Whereas hearing the people come in and complain, and
I can't do it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Like I just. I can't get on board with that,
No.
But I mean, that's why they're there, right?
Right.
That's their job. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So coming into your fight camp, so how many weeks out do you start camp, so to speak? Because you're always training, but I'm sure you ramp it up.
Yeah, I like to start like 8 weeks out.
8 weeks.
Yeah.
And do you change? What you're doing much, or do you just do more? Just add.
Yeah, the volume.
Workout.
Yeah, the volume goes up, right? So it'll be 2 workouts a day, or 1 hard one a day. It's funny, like when I first started, the conventional thinking is that you train twice a day, 6 days a week. So when I first started, and for the first numerous fights, it was like that's what you do, and it's like it don't matter how you feel. Like you wake up and you just do it, and it's like you're breaking down. And the longer I've done it, I probably train less than I did at the beginning, but I train smarter. Right. More efficient. I know when to rest my body, right? You got to find that balance of not taking time off, but you got to know when you do need rest. And we were talking about that yesterday, right? If you need a day, take a day, or don't take the whole day. Listen to your body. Right. Go in there and do something technical, right? Easy on your body, right? And so, you got to find that balance. And so now I don't say like, it's always 6 days a week. Or twice a day, 6 days a week, but I'm always in the gym 6 days a week anyway. And
whether you're just stretching out, whether you're doing
I always train. I just don't
working on your.
I enjoy it, right? Yeah. So I just like being in the gym, and even if I don't have a fight, I'm always in there. Monday to Saturday, it's just something I enjoy doing. Right. And
Sunday's your day off.
Yeah,
you always take Sundays.
Yeah, exactly. It's just fun. Go in the gym, do anything, right? Right. So, the volume ramps up when you got a fight coming up, and try to stick to. Pretty much a schedule, right?
Pretty straight up forward routine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Something always happens where we were talking about a few weeks ago where it's like you set a schedule and it's like I don't think I've ever had 1 week go exactly according to schedule in the years I've been doing it. It's just life, how your body's feeling, your coach can't miss anything, right? So, but you just focus on getting those training sessions in and work around it, right? So,
what about diet wise? Do you alter that at all when you get into camp, or do you kind of you eat pretty healthy all the time?
Yeah, so I fairly healthy, but I so I got this one gal at the gym, and she's a trainer and things like that, and she trains there and all. But she helps me out big time with my diet. She's awesome, and her big thing is like stay as heavy as possible, throughout your camp, and then now 4 weeks out. Yeah. So started Monday, I guess. Okay. Then it goes a little bit. A lot of people think, why would you do that? But she takes away all my sugars, so no more fruit, even. Okay. Right. So no natural sugar. She takes all of that out. Yeah. And right now I'm eating 5 times a day. Right. 5 proteins. I'll have like 4 carbs and 3 fats, right? And the fats are limited to hemp oil and MCT oil if I want.
Yeah.
So just
coconut oil.
Yeah, like that's okay, right?
Okay.
Just those oils. That's
Avocados.
Yeah, I could have that too, right?
Yeah.
So green vegetables only.
Right.
No colored vegetables. No sugars.
Peppers. No.
Like no sugars in your body. And her reasoning behind that is we're going to give you more carbs, but strip out the sugar, so you're still losing, some fat and some weight. Yeah. But we're going to keep you as heavy, or not necessarily as heavy as possible. We're going to give you as many carbs as possible.
So when you say carbs, you're talking like pasta, rice.
I'm talking complex
bread.
carbs, yeah. And the only carbs right now I can have are brown rice and yams.
Oh, okay.
Sweet potatoes,
that's
right?
It.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
And I like both of them, so you do it upright, so I can get on board with that. It's fine.
I've been trying this. I'm not doing a diet, so to speak, but just trying to cut out as much sugar as I can.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
It's tough because I love candy.
Okay.
But it's actually not that difficult. I've cut it out pretty. I'll have like a little bit every night, like a few M&Ms, whatever.
Okay.
But that's about it.
Yeah.
I cut out pretty much all pastas.
Okay.
Bread. Yeah. All of that. So like the ketogenic diet.
Oh,
that's kind of what I'm mirroring it off of.
Okay, yeah.
But not fully. Like if it's there and I don't really have anything else, I'm not going to not eat it.
Okay.
Or if I go to my parents for dinner and they're making pasta, I'm not going to not eat it.
Okay,
it's just I try I try to mirror it around that kind of a diet.
What is the meaning of, because I've been hearing so much talk about that, and because I'm obviously on the other spectrum of it, right? Because I eat lots of carbs, right? But I hear so many people saying like, okay, are you actually in ketosis? Like, so what is that? The fat burning stage?
Means your body's using fat
Okay.
For energy, not carbs.
Oh, I see. Right? Okay.
So there's a big it's I think it's still in the infantile stage right now where there's a couple fighters I've heard of that are trying it.
Yeah.
But it's not that popular yet.
Yeah.
I think Kennedy was one of them. Tim Kennedy.
Okay.
Who's on ketogenic.
Yep.
But it's tough, right? Carbs, that's energy.
Yeah, that's exactly.
But apparently you get into this state and your body uses it and it's way more efficient.
Okay.
And the big thing is the sugars, right? So you talk about carbs still break down to sugar.
Yeah.
In the end.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether they're complex or not. That's what they're starting to find out now.
Okay.
Obviously some are a little healthier than others.
Yeah.
You pop a bag of M&Ms. Yeah.
Exactly.
Some brown rice is going to be a hell of a lot better for you.
Yeah.
But, that's kind of where that trend is going, is trying to cut out as much sugar as you can from your body. Yeah. And I lost 10 pounds like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big guy. Yeah. I was already pretty slim after an injury and all that. Yeah. I lost 10 pounds.
Did you want to lose?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. That's what I was wondering.
The thing is I felt great.
Okay.
I have just as much, if not more energy.
Yeah.
And, the big thing is you don't get hungry. Like those hunger pains, you don't get them. Huh. Like you'll start to feel hungry eventually, but like you wake up in the morning, like if I don't eat, say that night I had pasta the night before, or a bowl of rice, some teriyaki, something like that.
Yeah.
You wake up within an hour, stomach's growling.
Okay.
Exactly.
It
doesn't happen. They don't get that.
Huh.
I'll still get it every once in a while because, like I said, I don't cut it out fully.
Yeah, exactly.
But for the most part, I eat a lot of vegetables, a lot of stir fries, peppers.
Okay.
A lot of salads.
Yeah.
Kale.
Yeah. I think it would take me a while to get used to that because I'm so dependent on carbs. Where it's I feel hungry if I just don't have them.
Yeah.
And
Well, I think for someone like you who's training as much as you are, I honestly don't know if it would even work. And that's what I mean is there's a couple guys trying it, but for the most part, you don't hear about athletes on this diet.
Yeah, one of my teammates, he kind of went to a different gym. He's kind of back with us a little bit now, but he's actually dropping a weight class too. So he was a big guy at 170. Now he's dropping to 155.
Yeah, and
he's doing the whole ketogenic diet right now, and he's lost a lot of weight and he's down, but he says he feels awesome, his energy and stuff. So I don't know. I guess you got to try it and see if it works for you. I don't know.
The other big thing I noticed, my mom has pretty bad arthritis, and I started noticing a few years ago some of the same kind of trend. I wake up really sore and tight until I really loosened up and start moving. That's gone.
Okay.
So because that's sugar inflames.
Yeah.
So that's one of the main reasons I'm staying on it, is because I wake up, I feel doesn't take me an hour to loosen up anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm driving to Vancouver, it's still a little tight when I get to work, just because I'm sitting in a van for an hour right after waking up.
Exactly.
But I'm really enjoying it at this point. It's not hard.
Yeah.
You still eat good foods. You're still eating stuff that tastes good.
And actually, you got energy, and you got energy for your workouts and everything.
Strength.
Yeah, there you go.
That's one of the big things too. Is I don't feel weaker. I don't feel tired.
Yeah.
If anything, I have more energy.
Okay.
So
what kind of pushed you to trying that?
Just hearing about it, right?
Okay,
listening to Rogan, listening to other, trying it out, and you're listening. And with Rogan, it's not Rogan. It's, I don't know if you listen to the ones with Rhonda Patrick.
No.
I don't understand half the stuff she says, but she's like basically like this high level nutritionist.
Okay. Was she on the podcast with
Yep.
her? Okay, I think I heard about that one. I don't think I listened to it though.
She's had 2 or 3 of them.
Okay.
They're all really, really good.
Okay.
And that's a lot of the stuff they talk about. And there was another one. He had the guy, I think it's the Primal Diet is what he kind of mirrored off of.
Yeah.
He had the guy who wrote that book on.
I ended up looking up the book after I heard about that, and so I just kind of was reading about it and things like that. And then obviously, was a Dave Asprey. Obviously, he's got that bulletproof, thing, and so he's also on that end of things, right?
So I was looking for some of those. What do they call the exogenous ketones today? So I see if that, because apparently those help keep your body in that state of burning.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So
it'll be interesting to see in 5 years, kind of like if this around and the whole like bulletproof, coffee, diet.
It's very similar to the Atkins diet, right?
Yeah.
But the Atkins diet was a lot more protein based, I believe, instead of the fat based.
I think so. I think it was more protein, 0 carbs.
They're both basically 0 carbs.
Yeah.
Just I believe the Atkins was more protein than this. This is way more fat.
Exactly, yeah.
Avocados, like a huge.
I just don't want it to go back. Be like, don't be eating egg yolks and all that. It's like, god damn, make up your mind, tell us, right?
Eggs, I eat tons of eggs.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's I don't think it's something I would try in the middle of a fight camp.
Yeah.
But take a month.
Yeah, exactly.
After your fight and try it out and see how
something
you feel.
Interesting, right? I like trying different things like that. So
exactly.
See how your body reacts, right? So
it's the same. Like you go to someone's house or like it's for me. I'm not going to not eat things when they're put in front of me.
Yeah.
I love food.
Yeah, there you go.
I love things that taste good. Like we went to New Orleans last year and like there's none of that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Any of that stuff.
No. You got to go out there and enjoy yourself, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's funny.
So how do you envision this fight going?
Coming up. I gotta just kind of like stay within the game plan. I think I just gotta pressure him, put pressure, stay composed, and I think if I, put my hands on him, I think I can put him down.
Yeah.
Right? But I'd like to mix it up, put him on his back, maybe change it up. I envision like a tough first round, like a dog fight of a first round. And I think coming out, maybe if it goes to that second round, that's when I think it's gonna definitely favor me, right? So I think I just gotta put pressure, just be aware of things. Like he's gonna throw wild shit, hands up. Go at him and throw, You
basically you can't put your guard down.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty heavy-handed, like I think, right? But my movement's got to be on. Go out there and just put it on, right? And I think I'll stop the guy.
How often do you do strength and conditioning?
What's funny is like so we did that assessment the other day, and I actually hadn't lifted weights in probably like over a month, and which is strange because normally I have my strength and conditioning programs, which I do, and I make sure I get them in. But I don't know. Some fights I feel like I just don't really touch the weights that much.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm strong though. Like for my weight class and in that assessment too. Like I excel at the strength things, right? Like that's kind of for my weight class. I think I'm very strong. So I'm not too worried about the strength based. Obviously, I do conditioning, sprints, things like that.
Yeah.
Maybe sled pushes, things like that. But when you're training and you're wrestling, you're grappling, that's all conditioning too.
Exactly.
And we're doing,
I
pushing.
guess more strength, like conditioning, whatever you're doing, there's going to be a conditioning involved.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. But like strength, this fight I didn't really do a whole lot of. So I mean, I think normally I would do 2 days a week, and one would be like one heavy day and one maybe a power day.
Okay.
And then as the fight gets closer, you kind of taper it off a little bit and a little bit more speed work with the weights and things like that.
Just because you don't want to tire your muscles so much.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like going lifting heavy and all that. Like you got kickboxing.
Yeah.
If you do boxing and kickboxing separately, some guys do.
Yeah.
You got wrestling, you got jiu-jitsu, you got conditioning. And you got to fit all those in 6 days, and then you add on the weights too, and it's like something's got to give at certain points, right?
Yeah.
And so for me right now, I think the weights have to give, right? I wanted to focus more on my grappling, my kickboxing, and my striking's gotten good. Been grappling, wrestling lots, so the weights, took a back burner this time.
Yeah, that's got to be tricky trying to gauge all those things, spend enough time on each aspect.
It's one of those almost where if it's like sometimes I feel like like outside of fights, even my jiu-jitsu's getting really good, and before my last fight it was like the best my jiu-jitsu had ever felt, right? But then at certain times, then when that happens, my striking's not feeling as good.
Right.
My striking's feeling really good, and it's like we got all these disciplines you got to train in.
Try to keep them all at their highest level.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
What belt are you in jiu-jitsu?
Purple belt.
Your purple belt.
Yeah,
so does it go purple, blue, black?
So white, blue, purple, brown, black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you start at white belt, then you progress to blue.
Okay.
Purple, brown, and black.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like most people tend to drop. I mean, if you get up to blue belt level, most people end up tending to drop off somewhere along that line at blue, because I think you're probably a blue belt for the longest period of time.
Yeah.
You see guys maybe getting promoted a bit early, or they get promoted late, but getting up to purple is usually a bit of a jump too.
Yeah.
So I think the blue belt is probably how you're gonna have it the longest. So that's where guys tend to drop off, I think.
Do you want your black belt? Is that something you're really pushing to?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't rolled, so you get your belts when you're rolling in the gi, obviously, right?
Okay.
Right? But I haven't put on a gi in 5 weeks, 6 weeks.
Do you have to be in the gi though? Like, because I know, I guess it depends where who you're training with, right? Like, if you're training no gi, you can get a black belt in no gi.
I guess so,
right?
yeah. But we're a gi gym, like we're a jiu-jitsu gym, so we do gi, and we do no gi classes, but it's not like we do grading in no gi, right? But no, I mean, I want to be a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt definitely one day, right?
For sure.
But I mean, I've got a fight coming up, so I can't, I'm going to focus on no gi, grappling. That's it, right?
So when you don't have a fight lined up, is that something you focus back towards?
Yeah, I'm in a gi all the time then. Yeah, I love it.
Working that.
I like it. I mean,
that's where you started, right? You started with jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, I started like jiu-jitsu and doing some boxing kind of all at once. Yeah. And but yeah, then I always go back to training in the gi, and then I'm much better without a gi on, and so it's just the battle, and then I go back and I get held down, and it's a much slower game, right? You go to no gi, it's a much faster game, and you slip out, it's a speed game, and that's definitely favors me, and then I get pinned down my guys in the gi, and I'm like, oh geez, like in the grips and things like that, but it's the learning experience. I'm getting better, and it'll come.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you. The one thing I was curious about, and we're kind of veering back.
Yeah.
But, so you get to the fight. We talked about this the last time. You like to get wrapped up right away. Yeah. You like to get in, get ready. Yeah. No matter where you fight on the card. Yeah. So when you're in the back, is it kind of like a big room? Everyone's kind of in the same area.
No. So there's
doing their warm ups and prepping.
There's a whole bunch. There's a few different dressing rooms. So we all but you share dressing rooms with guys from other gyms and stuff. Obviously not your opponents, so they just match it up so you're in separate dressing rooms. Yeah. And then their coaches are in there. My teammates are usually in there. They usually end up getting back there, even if they're not in my corner. It's usually we have a bunch of guys back there, and so they just kind of separate everyone. You do your warm up, and then you all walk out separately. Yeah. So
I asked you last time, have you ever just not felt it? Like, I don't even want to fight right now. And you mentioned there was the one time where you were hitting the bags and you felt weak, and then you said it ended up being your best fight. You stopped the guy right away.
So I always remember that every time before the fight. I always remember. It's like, okay, I feel good. I'm like, oh, that's great. I feel good, right? But if I feel like shit, I'm like, didn't matter that night, so it won't matter tonight, right? So it's it's just the battle to get to the cage. That's your
once you're in,
exactly. Then it's like, hey, let's do it, right?
Have you seen guys in the back though? Does it happen where you guys are freaking out? They're saying, I don't want to do this.
I haven't seen like too much of that, like in the back. But I mean, you see some weird shit, like guys, who it's their first fight and they've never really trained, and they're gonna go in there. They signed up
to fight.
Yeah, and they're just like, and they don't know how to wrap their hands, or they didn't think they had to have their hands wrapped, or they're asking people, and I remember one guy, he was well, he's asking his coach, and
Yeah.
I'll
His
say
buddy.
that his buddy.
Came with
He's
him.
like, "Am I a southpaw or orthodox?" I'm like, "Holy shit, you're about to
Uh-oh.
go out there and fight, dude!" Like, and then one guy got sent back because he didn't have a jock on. It's like so you didn't have a cup, right? So it's
Yeah.
like you gotta have a cup to go in there and fight, right?
Yeah.
So then he went
You'd
back
think
out
these
there.
would be things.
Yeah.
Like-
Common sense. I mean, and
You'd think that they would go
Yeah.
over that with him.
Yeah,
Like, hey, here's
exactly.
a checklist of things you need to.
Yeah. The funny thing about the guy who asked about if he was southpaw or not is, for some reason, this card ended up having a number of guys like that, and he went out there and knocked out the other guy because the other guy was much worse than him.
Oh, wow.
So it's
Cool.
just, I was like, oh man, are you kidding me? So
So I wonder if that probably made him start training then. Right?
Yeah, I
He
think so.
probably hit a gym right after
probably,
that. And like,
yeah,
okay, here
exactly,
we
yeah.
go.
So I mean, some guy. I mean, I've seen some guys who are like, 0-15 or 16. There's one guy who fights locally around here, but it's like if you go in there and you do, it's like it's madness, right? By
Right.
doing the same thing and expecting different results, right?
Yeah,
If you,
exactly.
It's
Definition of insanity. yeah.
Exactly, right? You're gonna go out there and do that and think you're gonna win. Like, what's the point of going out there and get your ass kicked every time? I admire the fact that you're still willing to go and compete.
Yeah.
But I don't admire the fact that you're not doing anything differently and just going out there and being one of those guys to being a body, essentially. Go out there and be a guy that everyone knows you're gonna get beat up, right? So
Yeah. Well, the people in the stands probably don't.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So it's just it's
If
funny.
someone gets knocked out, they're going to be up cheering no matter what.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
So- All right, man. Well, thanks for coming
Hey,
out.
no worries.
So, your fight's June 18th.
June 18th
at Hard Rock.
Hard Rock, yeah.
Get your tickets, everybody.
Yeah, you
or
betcha.
watch it on
Yeah.
the live stream Battlefield. Just search Battlefield Fight League, and you'll be able to find that.
You betcha.
stream, right?
Yeah, and then just quick shout out to my sponsors too. Yeah, Supplement King Chilliwack out on Vetter Road in Chilliwack, so they help me out big time. So check them out. Aldergrove Wellness Center, like we were talking
Yeah.
about, and actually my mom, Jackie Maclean, sports hypnotist. So she does
Perfect.
hypnotism and things
Really?
like that. Yeah, so like hypnosis, right? So she helps me out
I
with
gotta
things like
pee
that.
really bad, but next
Yeah,
time you come
okay.
on, we gotta talk about that.
Sounds good, man.
That's interesting.
Cool.
All right. Thanks everybody for tuning
Okay.
in, and we will talk to you next week.
Good stuff.